Welcome to another video. We do have a very special penny stock to discuss that is extremely undervalued. This is a long-term swing play that I think is primed up for a very nice run, especially once it does get noticed. But if you are enjoying this content, drop a quick like for me on this video. It does really help me out. So this is a tiny $20 million play. Also in the aerospace and defense sector, prime contractor to the U.S. Department of Defense, and they do supply their products to commercial aircrafts that are used by Boeing, which is a $93 billion company. They also supply their products to aircrafts that are used by Airbus, which is just around or just under a $100 billion company, and they just secured just 1 month ago, or just over that, secured their largest contract in company history for $110 million for these aircraft engine components. And something else we have to look at, yes, they do have this very tiny $20 million valuation as a profitable penny stock, and they do have a $280 million backlog of orders. So something very big just happened just a few hours ago. SpaceX basically caught a rocket in midair. They sent this rocket, the largest and most powerful rocket in the world. The Starship was actually sent to space and returned and caught in midair. So guys, as this is happening and SpaceX is trending, I do have this tiny $100 million market cap stock, and their largest holding is in SpaceX, which accounts for around 35% of their portfolio. Why is this important? Because you cannot directly invest into SpaceX as it is a privately owned company. So this is one of the only few ways you can. So you have to see this one. This is a stock that actually IPO'd earlier in the year, a few months ago, and absolutely squeezed all the way to well over $100, is bottomed out again, and we should see some movement, and this is one you have to see. Make sure you watch this entire video, have notifications on, and subscribe if you haven't already. First off, we do have to talk about is ticker DXYZ. So this is a company that is designed to be an exchange listed portfolio of the top 100 high growth tech companies. So basically it's a closed-end management investment company that intends to invest in a portfolio of the top venture-backed private technology companies. You can see their largest holding is in SpaceX, accounting for just under 40% of their portfolio, around 37.6%. Also invested in Epic Games, OpenAI, Superhuman, Stripe, Chime, and Discord, and many other privately owned companies. I did actually discuss this one when it IPO'd. This one did run all the way to a high of just over $100, actually way higher than this. If you actually go back, I think it reached $120 plus. Is actually trading at $9 or just $10 as of right now. Is actually kind of bottomed out in this chart, trying to bottom out at least. With all this happening, we should see this one see some movement, potentially squeezing going into next week. Ticker DXYZ, Destiny Tech 100 is one to put on your watch list. I do expect a big squeeze to happen as long as this does get some liquidity coming in. We'll have to see if that happens. But with everything happening and trading with SpaceX, as they did just accomplish one of their riskiest missions in history, DXYZ is one of the top plays to watch. Is this a long-term play? It definitely could be at some point, but there is some concerns with dilution. So for me right now, this would be a short-term swing play or a short-term theme play just for this week based off all the hype with SpaceX. So that's what I'm looking at with Destiny Tech 100. Guys, next stock we have to talk about is extremely undervalued, sitting at a tiny $19 million valuation. Ticker AIRI, Air Industries Group, trading at $5.84. And they did just secure their largest contract in the company's history, a $110 million contract, like I said. And this new 7-year contract expands their total backlog of orders to just under $300 million. So that is very big for this tiny $20 million profitable company. Since 2020 have barely had any dilution. So pretty much no dilution since 2020. But I think they had a reverse split in 2022 in October. But since that happened, that actually throws this data off. But since that happened, there's been very minimal dilution in the last 2 years. For these convertible notes right here that are not registered, meaning these cannot cause dilution right now. You can see their cash is getting low, but they haven't really sold any stock to raise capital in a very long time, it looks like. So looking at their quarterly income statement, this is why I'm watching this one, a big reason as well. You can see they just had their most profitable quarter in the last 4 quarters. Looking at the first half of 2024, their revenue numbers are much higher than the previous quarters. So that is showing tremendous growth, as they did just get this record contract. Air Industries Group and All System Aerospace International execute marketing agreement to pursue foreign military sales. So a very big PR. So they say this expands access to their rapidly growing foreign military sales, the FMS market, and the partnership agreement covers sales to 17 different countries across Europe, the Middle East, Asia, and the Pacific, marking a major step forward in ticker AIRI's strategic goal to broadening manufacturing and distribution to allied military. So they're going international with this. Looking at their balance sheet, they do have $49.8 million in total assets compared to $34.9 million in total liabilities, with very minimal long-term debt. So that's what I really like to see. And like I said, their market cap is sitting at $20 million, actually at $19.5 million. And something even better about this play is the float is sitting at 2.4 million shares. So a very small float with no dilution in a very long time. Outstanding share count is at 3.3 million or just over that, but the float is sitting at 2 million shares. So that's actually very positive. Looking at this chart right here, you can see has actually been bottomed out. Actually, we do have a lot of buyers stepping up in this 525 range. It actually spike up to just under $10. This was actually the day of that historic, their largest contract in history, that, $112 million contract. It spiked from, just under $3 all the way to a high of $10. And basically since that happened has been kind of dying out. Momentum has been dying out, but they did just get that very big PR. They are a prime contractor to the U.S. Department of Defense. Now, guys, I'm going to tell you some negatives with this play. Now, their cash is low, and I did listen to their conference call, so their next quarter is going to be a little softer on the revenue side, meaning their margins could come down. So hopefully, as long as they don't lose too much money, or if they did lose too much money, they could have to raise, be forced to raise capital. So that's something to look at, but they're still looking to do at least $50 million in revenue for 2024 for the full year. And margins should be up compared to the previous year, it looks like. And they mostly are low on cash. Now, one other concern is their order flow is extremely strong. As of right now, they are, basically securing new contracts every few months. Did just secure that $110 million contract. Like I said, their backlog, their order backlog is sitting at $300 million or $280 million. So can they keep up with the massive demand for their products they are making? So that is one thing to really look at with Air Industries Group. It does have some strong support at this 525 area. That is, like I said, where the buyers are stepping in. $6 could be an area of resistance and still need to break out of these lower highs, as well as this, this trend line right here. So that's something to look at with ticker AIRI. And looking at their market cap compared to everything going on, they are extremely undervalued and are in a very good sector in the aerospace and defense sector, especially with all these wars going on. So their history traces to 1941 in Connecticut, where it began producing parts for the World War II fighter aircraft. They're an integrated Tier 1 manufacturer of precision assemblies and components for mission-critical aerospace and defense application. They're a prime contractor to the U.S. Department of Defense. You can see their products are currently deployed on many high-profile military aircraft, like I just mentioned, as well as several commercial aircraft manufactured by Airbus and Boeing, which both of these are just around $100 billion companies. So that they have a huge part in these airplanes, these commercial aircrafts. That they do have these two different facilities, the complex machining and the turbine engine plant as well. Both of these facilities combined total over 200,000 square feet and employ approximately 200 highly skilled workers. Continue to have very large demand for their products. So just received a historic contract, like I said, the largest in history. And these orders continue to come in. That's all I have for today's video. Let me know in the comments what other plays you're watching, what you think of ticker AIRI, AIRI, and what other plays you're watching, and I will see you on the next video.